Okay, good evening, friends, and welcome to the Purple Mountain Live here on Facebook. And we've got another special talk, another collective awakening talk here live on Facebook this evening. I just want to welcome all our friends that are going to be joining us. And I want to welcome my guest this evening, who is Charlie Woodhead. Charlie, thanks so much for joining us this evening.
You're welcome, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, really good night. It's going to be a really interesting evening. Just as we wait for just everybody to join us, we're going to be talking about asking about Charlie's journey and what's brought him to do the work he's doing, and some of those philosophies, and also the work he does at quantum alignment with the biospec pro machine, health and well-being, detoxification, and try and get as much as we can in this hour. So I just want to welcome all our friends that are joining us this evening before we get started. So Charlie, just to start us off, what sort of your journey, what brought you to where you are now?
Interesting question, Chris. I was, you could say, just an ordinary guy living an ordinary life. What I thought were an ordinary world.
Yeah.
And just a few things that I wasn't happy about, like happiness, really. I didn't have happiness in my life.
Yeah.
I was working long hours. I was very stressed. I used to work for my family's business where I had a lot of pressure put on me. And life were all about making money.
Yeah.
And that didn't fill me as a person. I can be saying to my old man actually at one point, actually sitting down and saying, I just want to be happy no matter what I'm doing. And through a few things, I was quite nervous. I was very nervous actually. No confidence, very shy through school and just in general. And when I hit around, I'll have been 24, I met a girl, and we had a baby, we had a son. And it kind of hit me for 6 before he was born. Like, I thought, I feel like a kid. I'm not ready to be a dad. And, I started to kind of check myself and think, what do I want to do? And that kind of thing. And I just started to, my comfort zone, I just started to open up and push my comfort zone in different areas, in business, in trying to get a girlfriend when I actually split up with William's mum, my son. And I really found enjoyment in actually in pushing myself and actually getting to them places that I'd never been before. I'll just touch on getting a girlfriend. Like, I was really scared. I didn't know what to do, didn't have a clue. So I made it a thing of that I was just going to push myself to even talk, such as a small thing as just talk to a girl.
Yeah.
And that habit that I kind of formed helped me in so many aspects in my life of really going for what I wanted to get. And from there, I went on different boot camps. I went down London. I paid £2,000 for a 2-day course. What people like, what are you doing? You're crazy. But I just kind of knew I was backed into a corner. I needed something. I needed a lifeline. And I must say it was the best £2,000 I've probably ever spent at that time in my life.
There you go.
And yeah, I went to Portugal to a seminar, 3-day seminar. I learned lots about business, relationships, health, meeting lots of wise people, a lot wiser than myself, and learning from different people what their stuff resonated with me. And I've just took that into my journey, and I'm always learning, as we always are.
Yeah, it's just what you've said already there. I'm sure a lot of people can resonate with that. It's almost we're on this track of working and how we should be, and it's that stopping and asking, who am I? Along the way, what do I really want? it's that moment. So it must have been quite a powerful moment for you.
It was, yeah, it were very sensitive as well as, you know, powerful. When I look back, when I've done some things, I can only explain when I felt like supercharged and really, really powerful actually, was when I've raised my consciousness from a really low level to such a high level in such a short space of time. And it's kind of a bliss moment. It's very hard to put into words. You probably can't put it really into words. It's a feeling that can only be felt. And when you felt them and you know what that feeling is, and you're kind of then chasing that feeling, and that's what I've got onto this kind of just wanting to better myself in every angle of life. Health, meditation's been very big for me. I started in my journey started in back end of 2017. My spiritual journey, or of self-development anyway, more 2018, we're going into spiritual stuff, which is obviously the core of everything. And yeah, through meditation and the 5 Tibetan rites. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that one.
I'm not familiar with that one, no.
Yeah, it's like yoga, but it's more like working with your just on your chakras and doing a lot of core work. It's
Oh yeah.
super good for discipline and body strength as well. But I used to do that, and then I used to do meditation. Well, I still do every morning for an hour, and yeah,
So beneficial.
yeah,
That
it's just
even bringing it's just such a good example. Just bringing meditation into your life regularly as a discipline can have so many benefits. But just as things started to change for you, there, you're bringing in all these changes in your journey. How did you find then that life sort of changed around you?
I didn't desire the same things that I thought I desired. My beliefs changed a lot.
Yeah,
And I was just always chasing that feeling, or trying to keep the feeling, which I felt really good with when you're evolving and you're learning. Just that, like, you're learning and you feel you're on that kind of wavelength, that vibration. Nothing else really matters in such. I managed to create and run a very successful business as well while I was doing all this for the last couple of years, which I completely flipped the script, as in I was taught in business to kind of get as much out of your staff as possible and give as little as possible, like
yeah,
as in money and stuff, and like the old kind of mindset. I took a lot of information from a guy called Peter Sage, who's worked with Tony Robbins for 15 years, who I was very grateful to meet in 2018. And he taught me many ways to how he's run businesses. But what he mainly was getting at was the law of attraction. More you give, flipping the script, more you give, more you receive. I did
absolutely.
that, and just a few facts from the business: went from like 2,000 followers to 12,000 followers in around 12 months. I went from 1 member of staff to 10 members of staff in the same amount of time. It was really good, but it wasn't in long term. It wasn't really aligned with where I wanted to go. And like now, I'm sharing my journey and I'm healing myself, but I'm also here to help heal others.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and now I'm working with quantum alignment with the biospect. I'm really into this last year. I've been very grateful to meet a lot of people on my journey, but a guy that's a close friend now, my friend Darren, he actually healed himself from cancer by detoxing, and then he's
Incredible.
now very incredible. He's now a certified detox coach and a cell regeneration coach, and he's teaching me. I'm working closely with him, and he's teaching me so I can help more people too.
That's fantastic, and it's this is sort of the benefit. I feel we all want to help others, and sort of by healing ourselves naturally, it starts to happen. Uh, like you said on your journey, sort of realigning with your true self,
Mm.
and then you start to get on your path, and then you're helping others, passing that along. So that's extremely powerful within itself.
Yeah,
And
it feels kind of when something's working for yourself, it feels natural and normal and like a desire to want to share it with people.
yeah,
The thing that I have learned just recently, I say over the last 12 months, I was pushing a lot of stuff onto people that I was learning that obviously wasn't ready at the time, which I've come to understand that is a process in itself.
yeah, I think we've all fallen
Yeah,
into that one.
yeah. Everybody, yeah. And it's a lesson to learn, isn't it? You can only really help the people that are open and ready on their journey at that moment when you pass cross and you exchange some information. It resonates with you both, and it's just like, yeah, that's what it's about.
Absolutely. I think we've all experienced that. We have this wonderful experience of, any kind. And then the first thing we want to do is we want to tell our loved ones and say, I've got this fantastic thing. You've got to see it. And they're like, what? And you like you said, not everybody's ready, are they? So all we can do is try and embody and be the best example we can be. Yeah. But I think that's a lesson a lot of us can resonate with. At least myself and about 10 people I know have done that one. Yeah,
Yeah, a good friend of mine, he said to me, my mate Joel, he said, start being a shepherd, stop being a sheep and start being a shepherd. And that advice, I've kept it. That's what I do. Don't try and push my stuff down people. I just be the example. Do the health stuff. Do the
yeah,
detoxes, meditations. Put the practices in, and then you shine your light.
absolutely. Yeah, very, very important that. Yeah, and it's really, really interesting. And I mean, when we talk about just you sort of having that bit of shyness and uncertainty at the beginning, and I feel that's another thing so many people can resonate with. And really, we don't know inside how powerful we are.
Mm-hmm.
We're all here for a reason, and once we stop shying away from it, we can create some fantastic things. Happiness. So
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah,
really
like
powerful message.
yeah, and these things we use like the health and meditation, yoga and stuff, they're all tools to align us to us true self and to realize how powerful we actually are and what we can do and what, like you say, what we have come here to do.
Yeah, it's and I just think we're in a fantastic time of awakening at the minute. There's so much out there, um, even more than I can remember from when I first sort of found the spiritual movement. There's so much going on at the moment. Holistically, spiritually, health and well-being out there in every way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. There's more people, just local where I'm in Leeds, a lot of people opening up to it. With what's going on at the moment is helping people open up and question things. Like they
yeah,
obviously can't trust the media and stuff, so it's making them open up to, "Oh, what else can't I trust?" And looking down certain avenues. And we've all been there. We're all getting there in some way, but it's about that coming away from society that we've been led to believe that's everything, and going his own path and finding his own truth.
yeah, absolutely. And in many ways, I kind of feel that it's the distortion of is there on the health side of things with the system that needs to change as well. I don't know what your sort of feelings are on that. Looking at these alternatives that are out there, instead of sort of masking the problem, getting to the root of it and healing it fully.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's not like when people talk about diets, don't they? It's not diets that people need, in my opinion. It's a lifestyle change and knowing what's the high vibrational foods that you need to feel happy and feel energized, and proper living foods, fruits and vegetables that give you that energy and clarity of the mind, and um, yeah, not the stuff that numbs you down, and where overeating as well, where you just get clogged up and you're just in that you just don't want to do anything. It's
Yeah,
it's it's not the the food that we should be eating. That's kind of all this dairy products and all this meat and stuff.
Absolutely. And another thing I think that people are waking up to more and more, there's more alternatives coming on the shelf now than ever before that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, I rarely just shop at one place, an organic place. It's called the Organic Pantry in Wetherby, and I can buy all my stuff from there. It's all organic produce, and obviously it's got no chemicals. It's not sprayed with anything, and
Fantastic.
all these chemicals that play all the part in the you know, obviously these like mercury, lead, aluminiums are all poisonous to us, but they're all around us food, and they're all in contact with us food, and it's just we just have to be cautious, but know what's good, like you say, know what's good, like the tap water and stuff. You have to eliminate all this stuff out that's clogging us up and not connecting with source.
Yeah. And I really feel I've noticed this in a few of my friends and even myself lately that you'll find you'll just stop eating things. You just won't want them.
Mm.
You look and you think, I'm not going to eat that. I don't want it. I don't want it in my body. It's not going to
Yeah,
do me no good.
yeah, I've got that through also through detoxing, like having a really high alkaline diet, and just some things that I've used to crave a lot. Not even crave, actually, just some things that I used to eat on maybe a habit have just kind of like dropped out, and I'm wanting, my body's wanting more of the stuff that it needs to energize it, to give it more energy, and then to bring clarity to my mind.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so just sort of moving forward here, talking about your current work, the BioSpec Pro
Yeah.
machine. Um, for those who sort of haven't heard of it before, what does it entail?
Um,
What's the process? Say if I'm coming for a treatment. Yeah,
so the full body scanning treatment session is 2 hours.
yeah,
Um, and how it works is it's got some specialized headphones, so you don't have to. There's nothing that goes on your body. You've just got the headphones, and you've got a pad that you put in your hand that just earths the connection.
yeah.
But it's all through the headphones, and you just sit down. You sit down in a big comfy chair, so you're all relaxed. Being relaxed is very key. You can actually it's a lot harder for the machine to work if you're quite anxious and just like, what's going on. You need to be relaxed. I always try to do a bit of a meditation before, and just calm things down if people are a bit stressed. But it basically intercepts your brain signals that your brain sends to the rest of your body.
Okay.
It as you probably know, Chris, like everything's energy, and it
Yeah.
works on an energetic level. So it's had many things stored into the machine, like the frequencies of plants, herbs, crystals, all our body parts, cells, tissue, organs, glands. So it knows the frequencies of a healthy body on all of its parts and cells.
I
So it
found that.
scans it.
Yeah, sorry to
Sorry.
interrupt you there. I found that really interesting when I was watching. I did a little bit of research that I could.
Yeah.
I didn't want to know too much.
Yeah.
But how do you program um, the them in? How do you program like the herbs and the vibration in? How's it done that process?
So it's actually got a remedy pot as well, which connects into the machine, and you can put anything in that pot, and you can scan it in. It reads the frequency of it.
Mm.
Um, and then I could actually, say if you were on the machine, I could actually test that against your body, and it give a percentage of if it's a strengthening, which it generally is, or it could tell you if it's a weakening as well.
Oh, it's really
And
good.
then I can send that direct to you to heal whatever part we're looking in.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an amazing machine. So yeah, because it works on an energetic level, it can also tell you if you've got any issues that you don't even know about, because you can't tell they're on a physical level yet. You can't feel them on a physical level. So colds, coughs, colds, and stuff like that of people don't know they're coming, it brings them up. It'll give a list of which type of bacteria or virus, and
Oh, really
I can
good.
click in and find it whereabouts it is in your body, and then send a negative frequency. Well, first, what I can do is I can go down into the DNA of a virus or a bacteria, and send it a negative frequency at the DNA level to neutralize it.
Yeah.
So it's no longer in your body anymore.
I found that really interesting when I was watching your video, when you talked about that, because it's something myself and Stephen spoke about over the years with healing, that quite often we'll only visit somebody or address a problem when we can feel it, when we can feel the pain or we can feel the problem surfacing, but it might have been there for a lot longer. So it really drew me in that point.
Yeah, I think that's a really the world that we live in. It's a really like logical way of looking at things, isn't it? You know, we want to see a result within straight away, and we know
Yeah,
ourselves the healing journey is a lifelong journey of different layers. Um, so yeah, it's just society in it how it's set up. It's very masculine, like you need to do this, and then you get this thing. Um, but yeah, it's so yeah, it can detect the bacterias. The initial scan, you can do different scans. You can do like a quick one, a medium one, or you can do a real detailed scan. It can tell if you've got any genetic weaknesses as well. It can go down into your DNA
right.
and tell us if you've got any genetic weaknesses. And all
That's
these,
really interesting. So it can
yeah,
really, if you had something genetically maybe that you weren't fully aware of, it would pick up on it.
yeah, yeah, it picks up on it, and then we can send the natural healing frequencies back down at the DNA level as well to help boost things up and restore it to how it should be.
Sounds it. And storage wise, just going back to the storage, what sort of amount is it? Because I'm just thinking of all these herbs and all these everything. So is it really vast, the amount of
Yeah,
storage
yeah.
of the frequencies?
There's thousands of different types, and obviously it's just the database of the machine that stores them all, and then we're just sending them back to the person that's getting the treatment. You can actually feel
And,
them as well, Chris. You can feel
oh,
the vibrations, the frequencies. Not everyone, just people that are sensitive. Um,
yeah,
you can feel them like working in your body, just as a sensation. They're never too much. There's never any negative or um, long. There's nothing negative that it can do. The only thing you can feel detox-like symptoms after the session, maybe for a couple of days. It just depends on how your body is. If your body's not in too much of a good shape, it can be a bit tiring for a few days. You've taken a lot of these new natural frequencies, and it's just you need to settle back in and yeah, integrate
just
it.
yeah, integration. I just think that's so important with any healing. But it also sounds when you talk about relaxing while you're having the treatment, it's like many things. It's you can't just rely on that part, but you have to let go
Yeah,
as well and do your part. You have to do your
absolutely.
50% as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. It works both ways, doesn't it? It's okay sending all the vibrations, all the natural frequencies, but you need to be open to receive.
Yeah,
And that's why I like doing a little meditation before if I feel that someone's just a bit anxious. Um, yeah, there's many things. It can also go into we can go into emotions as well and restore emotions. People that have a lot of emotionally difficult issues. We're going to 130 emotions. There's each one individually, and we test it, we scan it, and we restore that emotion. It's
so and they're able to what's what because they can see on the screen, can't they, while they're having the treatment. So
yeah.
what are they able? What's that showing them on the screen while they've got the headphones on, and what's that analysing?
So that's relaying all the information that the machine's picked up. So
Right.
you get to see the inside of your body like a map uh,
Wow.
of your different organs, cells, tissues. So you're actually that's what I really like about it and what people like about it is you can see everything. It's not like me just telling you this. You get to see it all for yourself. I just explain like what parts mean what, and what I'm looking for, and I'm explaining everything. So so it's like what's going on inside you, and then you know through diet, what kind of foods you can eat to strengthen certain parts of the body as well.
Yeah, so say if somebody was coming and they had like digestion problems, stomach problems,
Mm.
would there be, as well as that sort of advisement given moving forward after the treatment, or would you come back again? How often would you have a treatment as well?
I always say to people, just feel into it, and feel if you feel like you need a treatment, that's the time to come. Follow your intuition. But um, with what I'm learning, I'm also be telling and advising people that you know um, these types of food, do this to you, and this might be what's causing the problem. If you eat more alkaline, you will clear up a lot of these problems. Add different herbs as well to take. Um, yeah, so it's more of an all round aspect of what we're giving through the sessions. Um, it's not just a session; I can be doing lots more talking with people rather than sending the frequencies. They're all I kind of tailor make them to whatever I feel like the person needs the most in that time.
Yeah, I can totally get that from what you're saying. It depends what's needed,
Mm. Yeah.
because the sort of vastness of what you're working with there is from physical to emotional, energetically. So it sounds, yeah, very open to a lot of things there during the session.
Yeah.
We just got a bit of a question, if it's all right, that's
Okay.
popping
Yeah,
up.
not a
Is
problem.
that all
Not a
right?
problem. Yeah, absolutely.
It's it's from, I can show it on the screen actually. It's from Ruth, who's a friend of ours at the Purple Mountain. And the question is, I appreciate how it can detect physicality and work on frequency, but but can it detect auric energies?
Um, well, it can detect for blocked chakras. We go in the
Yes,
different areas and look for blockages and chakras. Um,
yes. She actually put later on. Sorry, I meant chakra energy. So yeah, there you go.
yeah, we can detect for blockages, and then what we would do is go right down into your cells and unblock. We send a negative frequency to unblock the blockages, and send healing frequencies to boost and restore all the way back up to the organ, to the glands. Obviously, the chakras are as glands.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
So
I'll just touch on as well. Sorry, Chris. That
yeah,
can also
absolutely.
detect for entities as well, like dark entities, astral attachments.
Yeah.
We can the machine can tell if you've got any of those as well.
What's the sort of majority? Is there sort of two things that stand out that a lot of your clients come in with that's quite common with clients that you work with a lot, that they come to
Um,
get
yeah.
realized or
Um,
whichever?
um, well, pains, back pains, aches and pains, arthritis mainly.
Yeah.
A lot of people come with, which I'll just give a few examples about back pains. I've had quite a few people. A guy came up and he were a coal miner, so obviously a lot of physical work he's done over his life, and his body's taking its toll. And he said like his back killing him and stuff. He's he's just feeling he can't do certain things because of his pain that he's getting. I gave him one session, and I tried his back. I went into his nerves of his back, his nerves of his spine. I went into the cartilage of his spine and just unblocked the blocks. That's what we'd basically doing is unblock the blockages and sending lots of natural healing frequencies back. And when he got up, we were speaking for 5 or 10 minutes, and he said that, it's funny, I can't feel I can't feel the pain that he would normally feel, a sensation like a bit of an ache.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and this was kind of when I first started doing these sessions. And I'm like, okay. And then he'd ring me back a couple of days later and say, you know what, Charlie, I can't feel, I can't feel it. I'm like, yeah, well,
It's gone.
yeah. And the training that I did were very intense. So in March, it's only this March since I've been trained on the biospect. It was very intense. And when you're going something into that kind of work and it's kind of new to you, you're quite skeptical. I like to see a lot of I like to feel my way into things, but I like to also, when you've got the evidence in front of you, and like now I've done like 500 hours of sessions and I know what it's done for people. It's just that confirmation that this technology does really work and it's super powerful, and people, it's a healing modality that needs to be out there, and people need to experience this. I was going to say it ain't for everyone, but it is. But it ain't just, if you're not open-minded to it, then it isn't for you as a person. You have to open up and work with it. Like you say, you got to meet it halfway.
Yeah,
But
got to be drawn to it. So,
yeah,
so how long was the training that you went through for it?
it was a week. It was a solid
Yeah,
7 days of a very, very intense, constant all day, and a lot to take on. It were all about how the technology works and what does what. But you're really learning the field, as we really know. When true learning is when you're really doing it yourself and you come to realizations of actually doing the work and which is the best way. And so yeah, I'm having really good results with the biospect. Lots of pains. A lady that was doing a lot of boxing, and last year she got cancer, and she wasn't doing boxing. After a session 2 days later, she were on the boxing bag in a garden.
wow.
There's many a story I can share about people that it's helped.
Well, in terms of when we talk about emotions, have you got any results from people that have come with anxiety, depression, and such?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's with the emotion, and with the emotions, there's more of a conscious aspect. I like to because it'll tell you whether you've got high emotion and for a specific thing or low.
Yeah,
I like to sit with a person and talk about, like, just be aware that this emotion might not be yours, because everything's energy. It could be you carrying it from a different person. It could be
yeah,
just example. Is it a father? Is it a father figure type figure that you're having a lot of issues with in your life? You could be carrying that emotion from that. There's many. It's not just the person's emotions that we're carrying. Everybody's emotions that we're linked to.
yeah. I could totally understand that, and there's so much that we have sort of imprinted on us that we're not aware of as well. And like you
Yeah.
said, they don't belong to us.
No, they
Uh,
don't. No, they don't.
yeah,
And so I go through. There's a process involved, and I like to go through. Obviously, I cater it as well to how I feel that each person wants to which will be best for them at their healing.
yeah.
I don't like to have things too fixed. I like to go with the flow of that person. Now I think that person needs the healing, or whatever we want to call it. Um,
I think that's good to hear for people as well. Those, for example, just who might be a bit wary of, say, the machine side, to know that almost you bring in that intuitive side as well, if that
yeah,
makes sense, as part of the treatment.
yeah, yeah. It's just from experience and life experience, and also experience with the sessions, and like feeling what people need. I mean, sometimes people have been broken down into tears, and I've been there and we've been hugging for minutes and just holding that space with people. It's very emotional, especially dealing with emotionals. A lot of stuff can come up, a lot of stuff that we've carried all as lives.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's just about, I like to hold the space with people and let people get things out that they've suppressed for many years, and it's all about getting rid of that energy that don't serve us anymore.
Yeah, I think that's just two huge points you made. Something that I can resonate with massively. That holding the space, because in so much healing work, we're not specifically there to heal that person. We're just holding the space so they can
Mm.
be healed, so it can happen. The process.
Yeah,
But that's so important the way you put that holding space. That's what we're doing. A
yeah,
safe, non-judgmental area
yeah,
where it can happen.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
just because all healing is within. It's just like me helping the person is just I'm a tool for allowing that person to open up and with me being there or whoever's been there is just get stuff out. They need to get out. They've never talked about before. There's just been thoughts in the mind for many years, and it's come to that time where and point where they're ready to release this stuff. And as we know, I've done a lot of childhood work in a retreat I went on in Holland a few years ago, and I learned a lot from that experience. It changed me deeply as a person. Um, I was very disconnected from my emotions, and since that experience, I've been really connected. And I feel that's how people should be, and feel that feeling things, feeling emotions, and not suppressing stuff.
absolutely. And seeing the sort of inner child in everyone as well.
Yeah,
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 totally. We've just got another question here, if that's all right.
yeah.
It's from Catherine Crossley, and she was just asking, can it help with epilepsy?
Um, so another thing that I'll say about the machine, so it can actually obviously everything's got a frequency. So
Yeah,
epilepsy itself is just going to try and click this off. Something's popped up. Epilepsy or everything's got its own frequency. So it brings up epilepsy on the machine. Um, I've tried it in a few people where again it's all the same process. It's the natural. Um, so obviously it's in the head. So you go deep into the neurons, and you're sending, if there's any blockages in there, you're unblocking them with a negative frequency. Then you're sending the natural healthy frequencies of what a brain should be, the tissues of the brain, the cells of the brain, to boost it and restore it to its natural state. So yeah, of course it can help. It can. It's not something that's gonna. I believe it's going to be helped in one session. It's going to have to be a process of um, of many sessions, but you can help it by detoxing. That's you can have the sessions they're great, but the detoxing is the key to bringing anything back to its natural state, as well as
yeah, I think that's a really good point there, Charlie, about just not one session. I think that counts for so many things. Sometimes it's not a quick fix. We've got to commit ourselves to several sessions in anything to take that healing process fully, make the commitment.
yeah. It's like there's no magic pill, is there? That
No.
we've been led to believe that these pills and stuff, the magic pills will do this, will do that. With If someone's eaten a certain way all their life and the body's become toxic, you have to then, by detoxing, you've got to go back the process that you came,
Yeah,
and that's the way. It's a journey itself. It's a lifestyle change, but it's one that no one will regret when you go down it. I believe, from what I've done in mine and what I've experienced. I wouldn't change anything. I've you know the, it's a hero's journey. It takes courage to change things in your life. You lose people that can be you lose friends. But you get on your own path, and you find the people you're truly aligned with.
absolutely. One thing I've found is on this journey is it's our vulnerabilities that bring us closer together,
Mm,
not our ego side sort of separates us and pushes us away from each other. But when
it
we
does.
start, so many groups I've sat in and people have shared the hurt and pain, and we can all relate. We've all walked it in a different way, and we feel for each other then.
Yeah, it's powerful, isn't it? That's you getting through to us actual true being when we get down to that, when we show vulnerable. With sharing personal and experiences with people that can be sometimes very hard to share, and you want to cut and you want to keep it to yourself, that information. But the healing journey is opening up and letting telling people your what you've been through and how you felt, I've got many of experience from childhood that I've expressed and told people about, and it's all getting rid of that stuff that doesn't serve us anymore, and then we can move on, and we're not being held back by this baggage or this stuff that we sometimes don't even understand what it is. But by looking into your child and figuring things out and just going what you feels right, you can really like take the reins off and fly.
Yeah, totally. And that once you start feeling that little bit of freedom, you want more. You want to clear more and take
Yeah,
that path more. And that's certainly what I've felt myself. But just got
yeah,
another
same.
question. It's actually from Margaret. She's one of the team here at the Purple Mountain,
Okay.
and she's asking, when was the machine first invented, or sort of how long has it been around for?
It's been around for many years. It was initially made for working on. It's Russian, so it was made for working on
Oh,
Russian cosmonauts in space initially. The biospect. Then there's a story that the Russian military wanted to get a hold of it to mess with emotions of the military, the army and stuff.
okay.
But obviously that's not what it's there for. But them types of people that are around, and
All about intention, in it. So it's like with
exactly, yeah,
anything, if it's in the wrong hands, it'll get used for that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, very true. And so it's about 1950s, I believe, around that time.
Wow.
Um, but it was never
So,
supposed to be out for the public. Yeah, we're not, these things were made for like the elites and stuff to use, and we're never. There's a little story of the people that trained me over in Thailand. Um, they were at a show, like a fair, let's say, that's a mind body and spirit fair, and a girl came up to her and said, "Oh, my dad's got one of them in his garage." I think this is in Russia. And they got speaking anyway. He was one of the first inventors. He was one of the inventors of the biospect.
yeah.
And he
Shows you,
were,
doesn't it?
yeah, he had to sign like a disclaimer to never speak about it and stuff. And they managed to get on the phone with the people that taught me, and they were laughing and joking about it and stuff. And yeah, it were like confirmation for them as well that these stories have been told, and like they were the true stories that have been told from person to person.
Wow, that backs up quite a few of my thoughts over the years about things like you say that get used for the elite. The stuff that's out there that can help.
Mm, yeah,
Um, well, pleased to say it is out there now. That's really good.
yeah.
So just sort of the last question I'd have about the biospec machine is how much would it cost for a session then? What's the typical session cost? Said it was up to 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hour session cost £100.
Yeah.
Um, the similar kind of thing would probably be a lot more than that. We're not about that. We're all about wanting to get that information out there and help people and help heal people, give them knowledge and stuff. And so it's not about the money for us. It's about helping people.
Yeah, it's something that I've heard a lot, and I mention now. It's if you're doing something like this, it's actually an investment. You're investing in yourself
Yeah,
when you're doing
absolutely.
any kind of work that way, and sometimes we think, oh, and just compare it to what you'd spend on something else.
Yeah,
And and
exactly.
your well being. What price do you put on your well being? Yeah, it's fantastic. So
Priceless, probably.
yeah, um, just sort of moving forward. I know you mentioned detox a few times. Have you any sort of information on detox that you want to share? Detoxification. I know there's a lot of talk about it now. There's a lot of different information out there, and I think sometimes people are searching for a bit of clarity.
Yeah, it's like it's a minefield out there with a detox diet, foods. So I've been lucky to go on different retreats with people doing different cleanses, people a lot more experienced than myself and a lot older that have had many years of trying different things and and being experiencing stuff firsthand. So these people are teaching me. My friend Darren, who healed himself from cancer, is one of them. My friend Susan, who lives in Glastonbury, I've been on a retreat with her and gallbladder and liver cleanse, and she knows a lot of stuff. She's been raw vegan for over 10 years, I believe, and she's taught me a lot. She's introduced me to a lot of people in her circles as well. So I'm just using my intuition to get the information from people that are doing it themselves, and then I'm implementing it in my life. So this year I've done 7-day great fast, I've done water fasts, I've done dry fasts, and then how I felt, I've obviously how I felt and what it's done for me and how I feel. I could show you some pictures of me a year ago, 2 years ago, and people say to me that I don't even look like the same person. And it's mainly because of detox and eating mainly a plant-based diet. But the detox, that's what I'm mainly doing now, is the one-to-one kind of coaching. I like to put as much focus into one person that's ready to receive the information and really help them as much as I can. So yeah, if anybody wants to get in touch with me about that, I'd be more than happy to help. And I do meal plans and just wherever I feel that people need help, But yeah, it's super important. So the detoxing, I'm just going through my my certified detoxification and cell regeneration course that'll be finishing soon. But yeah, it's all about getting the toxins out of the body that we've gotten from so acids. Toxins are acid, and it's caused by acid foods and stress. And it's all about getting his organs working correctly, flushing out the body. These toxins can be out from anything from arthritis to cancer, and it's all about by eating the correct alkaline foods and flushing the toxins out. It's really simple, Chris. It's just that we're not told it, and like you say, it's a bit of a minefield, and but that's where I've been, and I've listened to certain different people's take on things, and I've just took what's resonated with me, and then I've done it and I've experienced it, and if something that worked, I'm like, right, okay, that didn't work for me. So everything I'm teaching, I've done it myself.
Yeah, so it's almost like that combination, power of education and following your intuition.
Yeah.
It'd be great if that was out there. Should be in schools.
It should. Well, and hopefully it will be one day.
Yeah, really, that's the way forward, and get this information out there. I feels that's really important. And in terms of fasting, I've had quite a few experiences with fasting over the last couple of years, and I find it so beneficial. But how long would like a typical fast be for you, and a typical one, fasting session?
It just depends on the factors. This time of year, I haven't been doing much fasting because the cold weather.
Yeah.
I find it harder. My body needs heat. It desires heat inside of it. So I've been having lots of warm foods, but good quality foods. But just adding heat, like I've been making a lot of.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Raw soups and just heating them up to body temperature. Yeah. We're back. I can see you.
Yeah. Are you all right? Yeah, I think we just froze for a few seconds.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just saying that when we cook foods, we actually kill the nutrients. So I've been raw vegan all year. About, you could say, 90% raw. I've had the odd meal here and there. And the amount of clarity I've experienced with that, like almost like feeling high, like in a different level, like just like my brain working super fast, so much clarity. Again, it's one of them things that's hard to describe, and you've kind of got to witness it and feel it yourself. But the raw in especially climates with warm tropical warm temperatures, definitely that is the way. You know, you can your meditations are like I was leaving my body in meditations, like psychic abilities. Like it's hard to explain, but you can. I've been able to tell what people are going to say before they'd say it, kind of thing. And
Yeah, and it's just what you were mentioning about sort of high vibrational foods. I suppose it's having them at the very best and
yeah,
not um, uh, cooking them to death, cooking all the goodness out of them till
yeah,
there's nothing left.
exactly.
It just brings to mind sort of memories of these, vegetables that are just on your plate, absolutely been finished off,
Yeah,
boiled till there's nothing left.
yeah, and just like skin and all, like a texture. I went for when I think I might have done 3 months solid raw, and I went for some Thai food, and I got some mixed vegetables, and I was just like, what? It just wasn't the same. It didn't taste the same.
Yeah,
Like, no, it's just yeah. But going back to the fasting, yeah. So I like to do it in warm when it's warmer. Um, but it's all about there's different levels of detoxification. Like dry fasting's at the top, and you
yeah,
could kind of say like at the bottom would be a basic diet of dairy and meat, what a lot of people eat. So it's all about like going up a level at a certain time and following your body's own intuition. So you can go too fast where it can be too fast, it can be too much. You have a healing crisis, you can experience a lot of negative things. So it's all about as long as you're not got something serious wrong with you, it's all about just going up that ladder nice and slowly, going with your own pace.
yeah. But I've always been of the belief, say for example, somebody wants to give up coffee, or that it's not good just to give it up like that. It can cause a lot of problems. It should be more gradual. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it's like if your body's used to something and you take it away, it's going to start craving it. So like you say, you just got to take a little bit away at a time, and then before you know it, I like to get people to replace things, bad habits with good habits. Like just for instance, cow's milk, switch them onto plant milk if they can, um, and before long, amount of time that people have said to me they can't go back to cow's milk and they're just loving the plant milk is like so many times.
Yeah, there's a lot of alternatives now. I've changed this last year, yeah, solidly to oat milk and
Yeah,
almond milk,
yeah.
and those are just two of them. And I find them, but I don't know if you agree with this, Charlie, but I just find that sometimes you got to give it a chance as well when something tastes a bit different. Uh,
Exactly, yeah, exactly, yeah. And it's not like cow's milk and plant milk. It's not try Don't try and compare them. You know, this is one thing,
yeah,
this is another. You know, uh, get rid of that connection of trying to come. Oh, it ain't the same. Yeah, just try and forget about it. And this is new. Just start afresh. So you've turned over a new leaf and just um, yeah, you know, it's
yeah,
there's
I think that's a good perspective to have because I think a lot of people do compare like that, and to just say no, this is something different. We're just going to go into this
yeah,
and not expect.
yeah. And like you say, give it a chance. You know, I've said to a few of my friends, close friends that aren't really wanting to detox and stuff. I've just said, eat fruits and vegetables, just fruits and vegetables for a couple of weeks, and tell me how you feel. And the amount of change in people is unbelievable. They've said they've got so much energy. I've experienced it, so I know what it's like. But it's so good for me seeing people that do it, and then come back to me and say, "Oh, I need to get back on fruit. I feel so good when I'm eating fruit." And um, yeah, but
Well,
it's
it's
giving that time frame to yourself to like not give it 2 weeks or a couple of days or whatever. You know, just believe in the process. You know, you're taking it for whoever's watching this, like you're taking this information in. Just just give it as much chance as possible, because I can guarantee if you keep going, you will notice a massive positive change in your life.
Yeah, I think that's again sort of what you mentioned there, and I think it was Gandhi that said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world."
Yeah, yeah,
And it's like you say, it's people seeing that change in you, and well, what's the secret? What's working for you? And then they want to know, and that's how you inspire people.
yeah, absolutely.
So that is really powerful within itself. But just going back to before, do you know when you mentioned about the dry fasting? What do you mean by that? The when we say dry fasting,
So not eating or drinking anything, not consuming anything.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just not eating. Yeah,
And how many days would you sort of do that for? That'd be
It
okay.
depends. Everyone's different. Everyone's at the different level, and your body can. Some people's bodies can handle it a lot more than others. So all to do with how toxic your body is. People can start by not eating breakfast and leaving it as long as possible in the day. That's called intermittent fasting. For example, I've just had some orange juice today. I ain't eaten any solid food at all.
Okay.
So I always try to say of the first food you put in your body in the whether it's the morning or the afternoon, that is the most important, because your body's going from, you're breaking a fast, you haven't eaten all night, you've slept, and you've woke up, or you've later on in the day, and it's the first food that's going in. So that's super important. It wants to be full of the stuff that your body craves. A lemon juice is very good to start off the day. Chopped lemons, ginger in there. You could have many things, some honey, but just again with the lemon, you don't want to put boiling water in there, because like we were just saying, you're boiling, you're taking that goodness away. So I like to add
Yeah.
some cold water, then just top it up, make just to a warm temperature. I started doing that in 2018 for like 6 months, and I noticed a change in my just rather. I used to be addicted to coffee, so I weaned off the coffee, went onto the lemon juice, and my body just craved it every morning. The first thing I wanted to do is go down and have this juice, and I kept on just putting more water in it because I wanted more of this lemon juice.
Yeah, that's and I think that's, I know I mentioned it before, but it's quite a common one. Things like coffee, that we get, you can get addicted to anything at the end of the day, and we can
Yeah,
get addicted to food. Coffee, chocolate's another one. People, the sweet stuff,
yeah,
and but I found that interesting because I've been thinking about this. When after we fast, and I found myself doing this, is I tend to then go, I'm just going to eat a lot of stuff at the end. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
well, I don't think that's good, really, is it?
Not really, no. It's best to kind of, depending on what fast you've done, it's best to kind of go slowly. Have some fruit, have some light foods,
Yeah,
vegetables, a salad, and then if you're going to eat more of heavy stuff, just work towards that. Not like a big meal. It can be quite dangerous actually, if you went on, say, I did grapes for 7 days earlier in the year, and if I were to go from 7 days of grapes and have like a big meal of something, would be quite dangerous, because your body's not
yeah.
used to it. There's a lot of healing going on. It's quite tender in there, and you've been piling all this food in there, and all your body's energies having to go to that area. It can be quite it can't be
It'd
too.
be a shock.
Yeah, it's shock. Yeah.
So, what was the one? What was that for? The grape one. What was the sort of benefits of that?
So grapes are high in antioxidants and astringent properties. So they really pull on your nervous system and your brain and your nerves. They're good for pulling toxins out of there. So like heavy metals into your heavy metals from tap water, etc. They're getting there from different ways, but it's very good for pulling the heavy metals from your brain and nervous system.
Yeah, it's interesting that, and especially mentioning tap water because we do a lot of work here at the Purple Mountain, and we use shungite crystals to
Yeah,
filter our water. And we've sort of got these water machines everywhere, and we've been doing it for a few years now. Noticed a huge difference because I'm absolutely sure we don't know what's in our water, do we? Fully
we don't. No, we don't have
got
a
a good
clue.
idea, but we can't get the list, can we? And that says it within itself. Um, but yeah, we use shungite crystals and found very positive results.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's something that I haven't. It was on my mind this morning, believe it or not, putting shungite in water for the first time in a while. Um, but yeah, I've tried many different ways. But yeah, the tap water is not good stuff. Like you say, they won't tell us what's in it. There's lots of different water filters out there, but natural spring water. If you can go back to the land, that's where we came from. Everything grows out the land. It comes out the land for a reason. It's yeah, water's
Of
very
the
important.
earth, isn't it? It's a little bit like we're talking about vegetables, and when we've sort of conducted ceremonies here and been part of them, where we've had to fast, and we'll have fruit after because it's from the earth. You know, watermelon, things that are quite light like that, and
Yeah.
your body really accepts it. And here at our centre, it used to be like a herbal tea and a biscuit after biscuits, all these biscuits out, and we've and we've slowly gone on to. Uh, well, we started just before everything began this year of fruit, and
Yeah.
we started giving out melon and some berries and bits on this tray that comes out, and now people can't wait for it. And it's like everybody's adjusted, and if it wasn't there, and I honestly think now, if we were to bring cakes and biscuits out, they go, "Oh no, I don't want it." They won't have it. I don't think so. And it's
Yeah.
because I think how good they feel
Yeah.
after.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. I'd completely agree with that. It's um, just from like the 7 days great fast, I didn't want to go back to food. I only were going back to food because I was going to a family meal later on in the week, and I knew that I had to kind of get back to
Yeah,
just eating a bit of something. So that's the only reason I stopped the 7 days grapes. I could have gone a lot longer. My body was wanting to go longer. Um, yeah, super detoxing, super powerful. There's nothing you can't change in your body really. I'm still learning about it. I'm still got a lot way to go and learn, but I've learned a lot, and where I can share the information that I've learned, I'm more than happy to tell people what I've done and how I've healed myself.
yeah, I'm sure everybody's got a lot out tonight, and it's sharing that information and then setting people off on the path to find how they feel with things as well.
Yeah, it's
Um,
about empowering people, Chris, isn't it? This knowledge and stuff. This is just one aspect, but when people come to the realization how powerful they are, and you can do exactly what you can do whatever you want to do, and you really believe that, and you know that, then you can. I'm just going to show you a picture, Chris, of me a couple of years ago, just to show everyone. I'll just
yeah,
have a little
absolutely.
look. I don't know if you can. That's me there with my son in my arms around 2 years ago. Don't know if you can see that clearly.
Yeah, we could see it clear. Yes, there's
Yeah.
been.
So yeah, a lot of people say I don't look like
Yeah,
the
you
same
look
person
different
anymore.
now, but it's that. Then, sorry, how many years ago was that?
Two.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, that's really it's the excellent example, isn't it? Really, and it's so important that we talk about being a spiritual being and a physical body, but we need this body, we need this temple to work well,
Yeah, we do.
to be aligned.
Yeah, yeah, we need to on a spiritual aspect. If you're wanting to connect, your vessel's got to be clean.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been really interesting tonight, Charlie. If anybody wants to get in touch with you about the detoxification side or the quantum alignment side, that you're okay with that, we'll post a link.
Yeah, yeah. If you want to get in contact with me, Facebook, Instagram. You want to get direct to the Healing Centre, Quantum Alignment on Facebook and Instagram as well. You'll get in touch with me either way.
Yeah, excellent. And yeah, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add, but I know it's just been. I feel like there's a lot more to talk about. I feel
Yeah,
like we could talk for another couple of
yeah.
hours. I think we're going to have to do definitely another
Yeah,
because
yeah. I've enjoyed
we've
it. I've really
touched.
enjoyed it, Chris. Yeah. I don't think there's anything else I really want to say. Really. If there's no more questions as well, I'm happy to answer questions that people have got.
Yeah, if anybody's got any questions, you can get them in just in our last bit of time here at the end, so you can ask a question if you got any question. But I think everybody's got a real lot out of it, and I haven't experienced the biospec machine before, but I'm very intrigued now. Just talking, and I remember years ago we were doing a mind, body, and spirit fair, and there was these two guys tucked in the corner with this laptop, and they were doing it.
Yeah, okay.
And I never got to go over, and I thought, what are they doing over there? And straight away, when I got in touch with you and saw the work, I thought that's what it was.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, and that was about 6, 7 years ago.
Okay.
But I think on the detoxification side and the fasting is really interesting as well, and the right foods. But a question that I've got actually that comes to mind is, in terms of those people who are looking to move away from animal products, what are your sort of recommendations? Good alternatives.
First, it's all about transitioning over, and that's what I like to. When I'm working with someone one-to-one, that's what I like to spend my time on, like showing how they can, what foods, because we've been brought up a certain way, we don't know how to cook the correct way, you could call it, where we're not killing nutrients. So I like to go through different recipes and stuff and just help people, to teach people how you can actually cook beautiful food a completely different way. We just touched on the milk there about dairy. Cut down as much dairy as possible. So anybody that's on like you said, a meat and dairy diet, cut down as much as possible. You'll start noticing changes in your body and how you feel. Milk, you could start having plant-based milk. If you didn't want that, you couldn't have. You don't have to have anything at all. The meat, I like to just add more vegetables. I started by having a lot more vegetables, making curries and stuff, and just instead of chicken, just add more vegetables, peppers, anything you want really. I'm having a lot of sweet potato at the moment.
Yeah, I found that what I started doing is I've not fully kicked meat, but I've really cut a lot out, and I was starting to make things like curries and spaghetti bolognese. And what I do is reduce the meat right down and add more veg in, and then slowly use that as a way. I'm basically working towards the meat going all together.
Yeah. A lot of people are doing that. A lot of people tell me that they do that and it works for them. And I think that's the thing. Some people have to cut it straight out and do that way. They know how the body works itself, they know how the mind works. Some people have to go gradually. Go with whatever's best for you, that's what I'd say. But yeah, definitely working towards the no meat and no dairy will bring clarity to the mind and so many more positive, happy things that only I couldn't imagine before I started on the health journey.
Yeah, realigning with your true self and divine being. Yeah. So just got another question. Ruth's got another one in, and she's asking, how are the medical fraternity accepting this? Is there any resistance? Quite an interesting one, that.
Yeah, interesting question. Is she referring like to doctors and stuff and that kind of, that the?
Yeah, I think she'd probably mean like the NHS and such.
Them sort of people don't actually give any dietary advice that I'm aware of, like to actually help heal your body. So I can't think, that they only want to promote things that they're aligned with and what they've been taught in. So, it's not about their nature. Like depends on the person as well, I'm sure, but everybody's got their own opinion. And I think if you're working in them kind of foundations and that kind of area, then you're not open to, and you're not going to promote kind of another way of healing. And natural, it is natural. It's frequencies. We're all made of energy. Energies are frequencies.
Just sort of jumping on the back of Ruth's question there, what comes to mind, one of the biggest things that can cause our body physical trouble is medication as well. Over medicating and masking that pain and that problem, which I'm sure you've experienced, can cause a lot of problems that we can need to detox out of our body.
Yeah, so the really simple thing that I didn't know about it till I actually researched it and found it, but They call it the allopathic community. I'm not sure if you know that, Chris, but allopathy actually means treatment of symptoms. So all that medication is treating the symptom, and as we know, there's cause and effect. So what's causing that symptom? You know, you can go into your garden and pull all heads off at weeds, but they're going to grow back. You know.
Yeah. Treat the patient, not the condition.
Exactly. Yeah, you get into the root cause of it, and that's where the true heal. That's where you find the true healing begins, when you go into the unknown parts of yourself and find out who you really are.
Yeah. Well, it's been a really good chat here tonight, Charlie. Thanks so much for giving us your time.
You're welcome. Thank you. I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, we'd love to do it again, and we'll be posting some links for everyone. Thanks everyone for your questions and for joining us tonight. Been quite a few of us, and yeah, if you want to get in touch with Charlie, please do so. We're going to be posting some links on this video after we've finished. But thanks so much for joining us. Keep up the good work, and thanks for sharing your journey with us. And hopefully we'll speak again in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And I hope that people can, even if they just take one thing away from tonight, you know, we've done something, Chris, to spread the knowledge, like we said before, and help where we can.
Yeah, I mean that's our mission here, and that's what we want to do with these videos that have sort of begun this year, is getting in touch. And there's so many people like yourself, Charlie, and other people who've really given the time and the true intention to share that truth and that clarity, so we can spread it out worldwide.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks so much once again, and thank you everybody for joining us. And take care, everyone. Stay true to yourself.